Welcome to Working Title. This week we're talking about animation. I'm Fox.
I'm Jarek.
I'm Lockie.
And my name Pablo.
Let's go.
So, animation.
That was a really good animation that just came up. It was really amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
you're
was
welcome.
animated. So
That was
animators and animation.
animated.
Live animation.
Woo.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, where do we start?
I have no fucking idea.
Actually, let's start with Pablo. Pablo, you seem to
Oh wait,
in
no.
the last
Does
episode.
animation mean Disney?
Yes.
Disney means musicals. This is a musical
Shut
episode.
up. Please shut up.
No.
Please
No
stop.
musical.
Okay, no
Okay.
musicals.
Yes, it does include Disney though, because they do a lot of animation, especially with Pixar and stuff. Would you count those in animation? Would you count like the
Well, I count animation as an animation.
Yeah, no, like the
No,
not those not the old like animations, but like the newer ones. You know,
Yeah,
Big Hero
I
6.
see.
Would
So
you count
you're
those as
talking
animation?
about-
Because no one makes like no one draws anymore. It's still animated.
Oh,
if you
people still
understand.
do. It's just more of a really niche thing.
Exactly, but I wouldn't call like Finding Nemo not an animation.
Honestly, thought you just said Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo, meme, finding memes.
Finding Nemo.
And then the sequel, Finding Dory.
Oh, jeez. All right. Well, Pablo.
So yeah, animations are not animations unless they are really animated because they're animations.
Okay.
That's
That's
we
a
have
great definition.
we have a different stance. No, but you're with the digital animation. It's
It's still animation.
how is
though.
that? Explain how that is not animation.
No,
it is
all animation is animation.
That's
Just
what
one uses 3D graphics.
Yeah,
And the other one is 2D in the original art style is hand drawn. It had
Yeah.
a certain
Or cell?
aesthetic quality to it. And yeah, cell shading's a thing, but that's just a lazy way of doing it. Well, not necessarily.
Yeah, but that's
lazy,
that's the
but
way.
yeah,
that
you
do it.
film it, and then you cell shade it. So from the beginning, it's not true animation. They just animate it.
what about motion capture? Is that animation?
No.
I feel like
I
that
feel
falls
like-
more into the computer generated thing.
Well,
Whereas,
I mean-
but there's computer,
Because
there's
you can have
computer
animations
generated
where
animation.
you actually have someone
I see.
moving
Okay.
and then they're
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but
a
that's
cool
different.
thing.
You wouldn't call like Planet of the Apes an animation film, though.
no.
Even
I
though
wouldn't
it's-
call like in that case I wouldn't call Lord of the Rings an animation because
But-
Gollum is he's
Yeah,
exactly
no,
the
that's
same
that's
thing.
that's what I'm
It's
saying.
motion capture,
There's a
it's not-
difference.
Yeah.
And computer generated animation would fall into like Pixar.
I feel like
Pixar films are computer
Because
generated.
Computer generated.
It's consistent
But
throughout.
yeah,
it has a
but
certain
they're a-
style.
yeah,
But
It's
I've seen
style
I saw a show. I can't remember what it's called, but I saw a show and it's like a fighting show, and they actually motion capture the sword hits and stuff, but it's an animated show. If you understand that, so that's
I mean,
not.
even
that's
even
not
though a lot of
yeah.
like would you call video games animation?
Ooh.
Yeah,
No.
but that falls into a
Because-
different category.
Nah,
It-
I would
it,
call
it
it
falls into a
animation.
completely different category, but in the same
Because-
way they also use motion capture to
Yeah.
do certain
And
things.
depending on the game, sometimes they even do have cell shading or like the hand drawn panels, like page by page.
Maybe motion capture's its own thing then.
Yes, let's leave it for another episode. Spoilers alert.
Wait, one thing about motion capture.
Yep.
Previously, before the Xbox Kinect was released, basically no one, unless you're rich as fuck, could do motion capture. And then the Kinect came out, and then we all loved Kinectimals. No, we didn't. The Kinect was fucking useless.
Amiibos, bro.
Except
Amiibos are where they are.
for like $50, it was incredibly cheap for people who want to do motion graphics, like to actually have a tracking camera. It was really cheap and usable for like a smaller crew of people, opposed to buying a like incredibly expensive motion capture one.
Should we discuss why you might want to, like when and why you would use animation if you're telling a story?
I mean, I think one of our lecturers put it perfectly in that in an animation, everything's controlled.
Yeah.
Everything is exactly how you want it to be.
Yeah,
But
and you
so
can-
is like maybe the new
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yes,
It's
but what I'm
filmed, but that's
saying
all
is that,
controlled.
you have-
your
you have, like, no
color
limit.
palette for an animation is exactly how you want it. It is.
Yeah.
There is no way of screwing up in the size because you have so much
But
control.
you sort of
over
have no
Yeah.
limitations
Yeah,
either. 'cause
exactly.
You can do
You
what
can-
you want.
Theoretically, you could have a car explode and dildos come out of it. Now, imagine
He's got a
trying to
point.
shoot that practically.
Yeah.
How the fuck would you do that?
Yeah.
That would
Still
include
just go to-
CGI.
Or
Just
it's
go
like
CGI.
it's like yeah, I mean CGI would work, but then that's just that some CGI doesn't feel real.
Can I just reference something in Kill Bill Volume 1 where what's her name? I forgot her name.
Bill.
Uma Thurman?
Is that her name? The Asian
Oh, that's Lucy Liu.
Lucy. No, in Kill Bill 1.
Yeah, Lucy Liu.
Yeah, that's the actor's name.
Oh, the actor's now. I was like,
You called her the Asian, not my fault.
yeah, so that's what she's constant. In that when she's retelling her history, it's an animation, but it's within a film.
It's the same with
Well, I mean, that's
the
an
Deathly
animation
Hallows.
sequence.
I know,
not
but
an
like,
animated
why
film.
would
Yeah.
when and why would you use animation?
Yeah, it's like in
stylistic choices.
it's like in Harry Potter where they did the animation to tell the tale of the three brothers.
Yeah.
Because that's that they're storytelling. You can
they
use animation in live action movies as a form of storytelling rather than them just sitting there on a couch telling the story. How, like that scene in itself, how taken away would you be if it was just a conversation?
I feel like
Yeah.
it would have also been taken away if it was live action. I feel like
I feel like what Locke is right. Where you feel the storytelling.
I think because
you know?
it's
the
a,
campfire
it's a
story.
different
You know?
it's a different aesthetic to what the rest of the film is like. So that's why you feel. But it's a different part of that universe.
But then
It's
another
obviously somewhat fictional. to
another
that
question I
universe.
have is just say you're gonna make the movie like Cars. Like why wouldn't you use real cars?
Cars 3, here we go.
Like you know how they have like live action movies of like what's the Jetsons?
I mean, the thing
They're
is-
making a live action The Jetsons.
Well, they made
think
you
of
know
the
like Death Note that they just released an American version
Yeah,
of
but that's
that,
a
but that's a
piece of
live
shit.
action based on a cartoon.
Yes, but
Yeah.
There
that's
already
also
was a live action
Yeah,
one. It
there was
just
already a
wasn't
live
on
action one, but even in that, like, wait, sorry,
But my
fuck,
answer to
where
that
where
is
where did this
that
start? I'm so
the
I'm
Death
I
Note
don't know.
American live action thing is a piece of shit.
No, I actually enjoyed it.
It still looks like a piece
No,
of shit.
it's not as good as the
exactly,
original anime.
and that's what I mean.
Or
if you try and
the original manga, but if you just like take a fucking seat back and you just watch it for what it is, it might not be that age.
Yeah, because the people see you compare it to
That's disgusting.
I'm sorry, I apologize.
I'm
you,
the
you
burp
compare
guy.
it to you compare it to the animation, and then that's why it's sort of bad. I like how they took the story but didn't make it exactly the same. If you know what I mean?
Yeah, we've already had a discussion about like what would it be to have the exact same experience.
Yeah.
with
See, that's
a
what
book.
that I watched that after having that conversation last week.
Yeah,
And that's why I feel like it worked
because it wasn't the same.
because it wasn't the same.
Almost
Yeah,
on the
that's a
same
lot of
note,
things.
if you have
Same Death
real
Note.
like incredibly low
Same book.
expectations about something before you watch it, you end up being surprised by it. You
Yeah,
end up
so-
kind of liking it. That happened
Exactly.
with
Paolo,
me and
we were
Fan,
talking.
Fanforstic.
We were talking about
Fantastic.
trailers.
Yeah,
fucking-
I thought it was going to be terrible, but
Yeah.
then watching it, later after
Yeah.
all the reviews and after all the hate, I didn't mind it for what it was.
Oh,
There
it
was a
was-
lot of problems.
Oh
with
yeah,
it.
it was pretty god
Like Green
shit
Lantern,
tier.
like there was a lot of
Yeah.
problems with that film, but you can still watch it if you don't.
Yeah,
think about
there's
it,
like
it's not horrible.
there's certain elements in it where you'd be like, oh, that's kind of fucking cool, and they could have taken that in a really cool direction, but they
So-
They
didn't.
didn't.
Yeah,
Pablo,
they did
would
not.
you want a trailer to hype you up or keep you at like a mellow tone?
Definitely fucking mellow. 'Cause,
Mellow.
like,
Definitely mellow.
some-
'Cause you see, like-
Unless it's Star Wars, I feel like they can hype you but only send one trailer.
Yeah.
It's
and then it's like Suicide Squad
it's
because
like-
Suicide Squad.
Had
you
four
know,
because the
trailers,
hyper,
yes.
Yeah.
the film almost even killed itself because the
trailer was better.
the trailer was better than the whole film.
I didn't
So
even hear that much.
Yeah, but then in response to Guardians of the Galaxy, they kind of like
Ding.
they kind of they
Fuck it.
Every time.
how much time were you in, Jared?
Not long. It's
okay. Well, no. Based on what we just talked about, do we want to talk about anime then as our first sort of like?
Well, okay, so we're talking about because I don't remember watching that many animations with animes with Japanese subtitles. Mainly watching the American ones.
Yeah,
'cause
well,
that's what was
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Well,
obviously
the
that's obviously a
OG
cultural
fucking,
thing.
like
Yeah.
90s like TV shows.
Yeah, so
That was the shit.
I mean, for
Yeah, but
me, I think
Everyone
watching,
has a childhood pick.
Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, big two on it. I mean, the original series, not the piece of shit they're producing. now.
Yeah.
Like was it Arc 5 with a dude? Like it's just the story is just shit now. Like they should have ended when
But
they.
are they shit because it's like
I think it's shit because it's just they've taken it way too far.
Yeah, like-
there's a point I think in a trading
but-
game where things just are like you have come up with no original ideas, and you should just stop and keep it to the original.
I don't think it's the, I don't think at that point it's not original. It's at that point it's like
There's nothing.
there's
left
nothing
to do.
left to do. Like we've
Yeah, it's the same
Well,
with like
it's- and-
Power
but,
Rangers now
but
as
it's like we're still making money.
Is this with
So let's just shove shit in there.
is this with Pokemon?
No, with
Pokemon Go,
Yu-Gi-Oh.
the app.
Oh,
But-
Pokemon's still okay. Pokemon's still doing well.
I think
like-
Pokemon's, but like there have been
but
some.
it will
bad
never
ideas.
is
it will
good.
never develop into serious themes. It'll always be the
Okay, so let's
the
just
same
let's
TV
round
show.
off
Alright,
like
you-
there's childhood.
Oh yeah, childhood
classic.
'90s TV shows.
Yeah,
that were-
which
Oh,
is
okay.
why we always saw
Yeah.
the dub version because but
That's
all
what
the
we saw.
popular ones get dubbed. You don't
So-
see
Yeah.
you don't see all like the
Death Note
you
got.
know,
Got
that's because it's a popular one. You get all those.
Full Metal
Yeah.
Alchemist.
Yeah, that's another like childhood
I'm just gonna
TV
start
show.
naming off all the
There's Naruto. Everybody loves Naruto. Dragon Ball Z.
One Piece.
One
SpongeBob.
Piece is one of my
One Piece,
favorites.
I love it.
Except
Nope.
it's so long that I
Yeah.
got like maybe
I remember
3/4 into it.
there's
and
like
I just
a
couldn't finish it.
there's a series of episodes where what's his name? I can't even remember his name.
Which one?
The main dude,
Luffy.
the guy with the hat.
Luffy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You call
Anyway.
him Luffy?
There's a bunch of episodes where he's trapped
how many?
in a I can't even remember the how many episodes. Like he's trapped in a slab of concrete under a pool, and I can't even remember.
Oh
like,
yeah, no, that was I'm
That
pretty sure
was
that
a
was with Crocodile, and he was sort of like he was in a cage, and then that was
yeah,
filling up.
But,
yeah.
What are you talking
yeah,
about?
and he was like
What show?
One Piece.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so
No one's
yeah.
mentioned the Golden Show. No one's mentioned it.
Digimon.
There you go. Yeah. Season 1, season 2, yeah.
Yeah, no,
was
and
alright.
it got kind of downhill after
And
that.
then season 3 was all right. Let's just make everything into a trading card game, and
Yeah.
that's the show.
No, but Digimon started off so
Oh,
great.
it
It was
was
just
the
like honestly the
shit.
best show. It made my childhood. I hated
was the
Pokemon
shit.
when I was younger because I loved
I
Digimon.
didn't hate Pokemon, but I always found the benefits to Digimon over
I mean,
Pokemon.
there was actually a game that got me into Digimon. It was like a Digimon kind of
Was it-
Super Smash Bros. Brawl
Yeah,
kind
Rumble
of game.
Arena too,
Yeah,
or some
yeah.
shit. Yeah,
That was the shit, just
Yeah.
because of how the Digivolve worked.
yeah.
in that.
Just like that.
I feel like if you're gonna put
Did you just say
child-
Digiball?
no, it's
Digivolve,
Digivolve.
Oh.
fucking
But the
Jeez.
whole idea of digivolving
dev cunt.
really taps into that little kid's brain and just like
I think-
let's exploit that. Let's put you know what? Big
I think
orange fucking T-Rex cunt. Let's just put wings on him and now he's half a robot and he can fucking shoot rockets out of his tits. That's Digimon. All right? That's
It's
why
like-
it's fucking awesome.
Digimon, like all the evolutions and stuff were just fucking great.
Yeah.
Like it got to like that crazy point where Vmon and Greymon.
Wait,
combined.
Vmon and not Spikemon, Stingmon. Vmon and Stingmon made not Pyldramon. It was
Oh my god.
They like fused.
Pyldramon was a one after they DNA digivolved, but they kind of dropped the ball with fucking. Was it? I thought Angemon and
And
the Angemon and Armadillomon. I
Yeah.
thought that combination. I thought that was gonna be cool as fuck.
These
Like,
names are
it's
so
an
on the
angel and a
nose.
giant armadillo motherfucker.
Yeah, but
And then he turns into a teapot, and I was like, "Fuck off,
No,
fuck off." That was gonna be cool as
when-
shit. I could have drawn something better with my 6-year-old dick. Come on.
No, okay. Thinking about shows that like just take so much and just keep throwing it at like young kids. Bakugan.
yeah, but see
Battlegon.
that I feel like
Bakugan.
Bakugan and like Beyblades and stuff were stuff that they
They were made to be interactive.
exactly they were built from the toys rather
Yeah.
than built from like the anime, which is like
Transformers,
Pokemon was and
robots,
and
and
stuff.
stuff.
Metal cards and
Actually, no. Honestly, like that
Interactive
was a
marbles.
pretty good
So-
like series in terms of trading card. Like, holy shit!
What?
Like in terms of show, it was pretty shit. Like, I remember watching most of that
What
first
show?
season. Bakugan.
Oh yeah, no, Bakugan.
Yeah.
That was like on TV when we were in like primary school though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
That-
like year 6. or
that
something.
sort of came after the Digis in the Pokies.
Yeah. See, I watched.
Yeah, so
I always
it
used
was
to watch
it was very
Digimon on
much it was
TV.
very much a collaboration of Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon because it had to do with balls and monsters.
balls, monsters, and cards.
Basically sums up
But
like
they-
his childhood.
But some of those shows did have like good messages and
Oh, yeah,
themes and
yeah.
shit. Like
Well, it's-
don't take care of your pets as pets; they're your friends too. And also,
Aw.
Friendship.
also you should get along with your friends despite who
and
they
don't
are.
forget, in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Do we want to talk about some of the more like sort of like teenage anime shows?
Go on.
Attack on Titan.
Who?
You guys seen Attack on Titan?
a little bit.
No.
No.
Honestly, really, I thought even Pablo
Oh,
would have seen it.
I've seen like the little clips on YouTube and shit, but
It's honestly one of the like strongest. I just started watching season 2, but I was kind of. I feel like you need to watch it all in one go because
Yeah.
it kind of starts straight away.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna go watch season 1 again. But it's one of those shows that it's like so good. The animation's just so nice to watch. Also, we've got Sword Art Online. Have you guys seen that?
Pardon?
Sword Art Online.
I've definitely heard of that.
Well, we've just talked about Death Note. Have we all seen Death Note, the original Death Note?
I watched a couple episodes basically with the big scary thing.
And I
Answer
read
questions or
the
some shit.
original manga
Yeah.
for a couple of.
I didn't. I think it was a video on YouTube that was about the Death Note that kind of got me into it.
Okay. And we've got like Dragon Ball Z and stuff as well. I mean, that's my childhood, but
Dragon Ball
Nostalgia.
Z, yeah.
Alright,
Of course,
well,
it was that
why do
god
you
awful.
think Japanese anime works in?
Because
in
the
American
Japanese
audiences?
just kind of know what they're doing, and then I think that
There
That's not a reason. Just like they know what they're doing.
they know what they're
well,
like.
they've
They
already-
do
they've
obviously
already-
know what they're
They already
doing.
tapped into the market in the 90s and got the American audiences and even the Australian audiences with
I feel like
morning kid shows.
one thing they have going is in America they have time frames. Like you have to create a show in X amount of time. But in I feel like in Japan and China when they make content they allow more times than things for things to develop and they can spend more time to create quality content.
also
Yeah,
that will
because a lot of
last.
animation
feel-
series they have like one series and then 3 years later they have season 2.
Yeah, because they allow the companies actually allow them to create the content. But in America, it's very pump quick. This needs to make me as much money as possible, as soon as possible.
That with America, there's obviously not that many animations going on in terms of massive series, and so when you have this Japanese market swerve its way into American market, of course it's gonna be good because it's something
They've already
different.
They've already hooked
It's
everyone
like how-
by
Exactly.
nostalgia anyway.
It's
Yeah.
like how America's film market is creeping into Australia, just because Australia doesn't have that big of
Exactly.
a
So the
film
same thing
market.
happens in
I
Australia.
think
yeah.
I think creeping is a little bit of an understatement.
Yeah, well,
Sorry. It's
overtaking,
storming. It's
overtaking.
literally
I
storming the
think
castle
word
walls.
is molested.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we're at right
So,
now.
but that's what I was saying. The same correlation with Japan's anime content and the rest of the world is that they've been doing it for longer and doing it better.
And hooked you by nostalgia. But then they try to reuse that nostalgia and make the same show, just like older, like the Digimon Try, like the third season, like the real third season. It's
can
more
we-
just like a high
yeah.
school fucking anime.
So Japanese anime works because
The pictures are cool.
Sexual manipulation and nice tits.
Yeah, and maybe it's also because
Okay,
it's more
yeah.
it's a more like adult style of animation as
Yeah.
well. Because it's not because a lot of their animation isn't like your Disney segue kind of animation where it's like child friendly and like happy and it's sort of they can
there's
they
a
can
lot
make
of
that
crotch
dark.
punching jokes.
Yeah, and there's a lot of that dark kind of aesthetic
Yeah.
in it. It's sort of like like the DC animated movies, how they're animation, but they're dark. They got that dark
Yeah.
undertone. It works with that older audience, and I feel like that's why
Even
I feel like
Japanese
DC
animation works.
animations
Digimon
use
got-
more blood than the live action movies.
What DC animation?
Yeah.
Well, but that's also because of like that the audience that they're targeting.
Yeah,
as well,
exactly.
though.
So you think of things like the
But
Batman ones.
But now,
Pablo.
But now,
The
the
Batman.
Batman films,
The
like
Batman,
in Batman,
What are you
animation.
saying about Batman? You
I'm asking you to go on from
I'm
there.
trying to talk about
Shut
points
up.
here.
Okay, go on.
But like in Batman vs Superman, there is blood. Like
But not as much as Flashpoint Paradox.
that's different though, because you got to understand that those comic books are pretty gruesome in the sense that there is a lot of blood, there is a lot of dark themes, and then
And this is what I say. Learn like Marvel. Make an R-rated fucking superhero film.
yes,
But-
but
That's all I
not
can say.
everyone.
Marvel didn't even do
not-
that. That was just Fox.
Not
Me.
every R-rated movie
was
and
him.
film.
It was the owner of Fox Studios.
R-rated movies don't really necessarily work unless, it'll work well. Logan had to be R-rated. Deadpool had to be R-rated.
Did it
You
though?
can't make films
The,
like that.
the
that work.
R-rated part is just the after fact. Making it R-rated doesn't make it good.
Good,
But
exactly.
the fact that it's allowed all those limitations of an R-rated film allows it to be better.
Yeah.
Rather than like harping on the no blood here, no
Or
violence
like
here.
imagine Deadpool not being R-rated.
But can you?
I could
I mean,
ima-
for us
I
it's
can
MA,
imagine,
but
yeah.
like.
But can
but
you
like for
imagine? But can you
America, it has
imagine
to be.
Batman v Superman if it was at that R rating?
It did have an R rating in the ultimate cut, and it didn't really make much of a difference.
Back to animes.
Well, do we
That's my
want to talk
segue.
about like the comic book
Yeah, okay.
animated movies then?
Okay, because you and I
Look,
could
look,
go day for day
I
on
know.
Flashpoint Paradox. and
No, look.
I could go for Deadpool.
I reckon the best one is Flashpoint because it's the one that stays mostly. I'm
Oh,
saying
yeah, yeah.
mostly true to the book, where and it
I just
also
fucking
it
love it.
also doesn't skip out on any unnecessary details.
All right.
Like,
Well, what would be your favorite DC animated one on the premise of the film itself and completely detach the comic book context
Flashpoint.
from it?
Ooh.
maybe
Dark Knight Returns. Can't
No, yes,
Part
yes,
one,
but
part two.
but no, because
Where's
it's
Morgan?
split up. I reckon maybe Justice League War.
You could just
Oh,
Because
Oh, that is-
because
that's
it
pretty good.
is a good
Yeah.
Justice League origin
Yeah.
movie, and it
If
sets
I'm-
that
if I'm
universe. For that
honest.
Yeah.
being the first film in that animated universe that they've created, it sets up
Yeah.
the world.
yeah.
perfectly.
It's set.
if
set-
I'm
does
honest, I
something
felt
else.
like that was just a tiny bit rushed.
No. See, I feel like
I feel like them just coming together and being like, "Oh, who are you? Who are you? Who are you?" was just a bit.
that was exactly the
Yeah,
comic,
but
though.
I just
Yeah, it's
it just didn't
still
work.
an
Honestly, just didn't work.
animated comic book movie. It's not like
I know it just
high-quality
didn't
drama.
seem.
I mean, Zack Snyder wants to make high quality drama, but miserably fails at trying to do so.
All right, well, I'm gonna.
Ouch, Zach.
Ouch at Man of Steel right there.
Actually, you know what?
On the record, fuck Zack Snyder. Fuck him. Except
He,
Watch-
ju-
Watchmen
he,
was
ju- he
alright.
just stopped watching.
You know what? I actually do like
He
Under
just
the
stopped
Red
listening
Hood
to
though
him.
as well because it
was good.
condenses the story from the comic book, but it still gives you all the necessary.
Do you know
stuff.
and
what
also
I
the
don't
dark
like?
shit. Dark
yeah,
shit is good.
we got to see Robin getting beaten with a crowbar.
Do you know,
And
do you know
fine,
one
resurrected.
that I feel like wasn't good?
What?
Killing Joke.
No, see,
I haven't seen it. I don't want to see it. I'm just reading the book on that one.
from about
It's-
40 minutes onwards,
Yeah.
it is the actual comic book,
Yeah.
and it's good from there on. But the whole sex thing
feel
with
like-
like,
I feel like
Yeah,
the
I
first
heard
40
about
minutes is
that,
just-
and that was just like, all right, all right. I would have preferred if it was the movie was like way shorter, and it was more concise, and it fit more with the art style instead of just. It almost looks like it's like pretty much any other DC animated movie.
Actually, have you
it's
seen-
all the same art style
Yeah.
across the board. If they were just a bit more experimental with it, like they were in the fucking comic, then I might enjoy it more. But it
a
seems
soda before you jumped on.
aesthetically bland almost.
have you seen Son of Batman as well though?
Yes, I have seen some. Of
That's another good one. You know
Yeah.
what? The DC animated movies are just really good.
They are good. but
Overall, yeah.
Overall, like the new wave where the new wave
Overall, I
of
can
Batman
watch them.
films and Justice League films, they really work, and they're developing this universe that exists. They jumped into an existing universe and it worked, whereas they don't learn that with the films.
No.
It's like,
And
they-
they've also
Well, when
separated
is Zack
their,
Snyder learn?
the live action TV show to the.
no, I
to
think
the
that's a
real movie.
wise idea, but they've
It does have its pros and
you know.
cons.
Can I ask a question? Do you feel like the live action films would be just as successful if they were animated?
I don't
No,
know.
no, they
I
wouldn't.
don't
No,
feel like
'cause
a
the
lot
stories
of.
wouldn't work.
And
I don't feel like a lot of people would go to the cinema to watch a DC.
Because they're kid
animated.
friendly.
Are they?
No,
are
they're
they
more
They're
teen
just-
friendly.
Look,
Oh,
the,
well,
the
yeah,
movie,
well,
They're not
teen-
G-rated.
the movie could
Yeah.
be
They'd
be
goddamn
going-
Oscar worthy, but some people are just dipshits and they're like, I don't want to see an animated film. What's that? I'm not a weeb.
Unless
what the
you like.
fuck you talking about?
Unless
I'm
you're
not
like
watching
Yu-Gi-Oh.
animated.
Like the thing is, a lot of animated films don't even get into the cinemas; they go straight to DVD.
Yeah.
Or-
Well, straight to DVD is pretty much dead. It's just streaming online.
Yeah,
Well,
you-
that's-
either
that's the
what
new
you.
meme.
I
What
mean,
the-
yeah, that's
what the
I mean.
DC films do is a lot of them come out like one day in cinema and then the next week they get released digitally and then the DVD comes out. So they have to be bought digitally. So then they get like a gross total and it's sort of like as if you were buying tickets to see it in the cinemas. You got to buy it online to watch it online and then you can buy the DVD.
Or you can just wait 2 more days, and there's probably on
A torrent,
like,
yes,
yeah.
but we don't.
Well, we
don't
can't
condone that.
anymore.
We don't
We're in the-
torrent.
we're
we
in the
don't.
film industry.
We buy all our content legally, safely.
Well,
And with
now-
Bitcoin.
With Bitcoin,
Well, I mean, now that
with
like,
Pepcoin,
piracy's
Pepe.
really been cracked down on, so
But
Yeah,
but
what piracy? Yeah,
yeah. So now you're basically screwed if you even try to.
let on the topic of DC. Let's talk about childhood nostalgia and talk about the Batman the animated series.
Ooh, I only watched.
Teen Titans.
Oh, I watched the one. Okay,
Not
I
Go.
don't remember much, but there was this one episode that I remember that was dark as hell, and it really just stuck with me. I was kind of terrified as a kid, but it was the episode where Joker turned Robin into like one of like a little Joker henchman.
Oh no,
I
that
saw
was
that.
that was the Batman Beyond film where he. Oh no, that was part of that though.
Yeah,
yeah,
but that's
yeah,
the
no,
only
no,
thing
I
I
know what you
distinctly
mean.
remember. And
Yeah,
I was like,
but
shit,
the show-
what? Fucking what?
No, Robin. No.
But on the back of the Tim Burton films, the show dealt with all the dark themes. Like
Yeah.
you had Mad Love, where you showed Harley Quinn her origin, but
Yeah.
she was getting abused by the Joker, and that was on children's TV. Like,
Was it?
yeah.
Well,
Like,
I mean, that's because that's the relationship. Anyway.
Then jump,
Yeah,
like,
then
but
jump
you-
cut to Suicide Squad. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
No, I feel like it's still in there. It's just a
Oh,
little
it's
less.
still
a little
in
less,
there,
it's
but
subtle. It's more
Fucking
subtle.
poorly. I
It's
feel
more.
like it was,
It's definitely trying to be more subtle. 'cause
Yeah,
it's
but
like,
also
let's not.
they were
break
kind
the
of really
NA
going
rating.
for a goddamn like hot topic audience. So there's got to be a bunch of 13-year-olds that see it and go be like, I want that.
Just
I love them.
can I just
I
connect?
heart them.
Can I just connect the rating system we just talked about and to anime? So,
No, you can't. You're not allowed.
It's always gonna be
No,
there.
right? What?
So we just talked about how animation can create 100% of everything that's on the screen. That they can manufacture everything. So when they have the rating system with the cartoon is like how much blood you show, how much violence you show, because they can
It's different to a film.
because you can punch someone in a cartoon and nothing happens, or you can punch and like teeth, blood, guts go everywhere. You know.
You can mitigate certain factors.
So
Well, I
with-
mean, I feel like you can make it fit a rating, and if the studio is like, no, we don't want that, pull it back a bit.
Exactly.
just
yeah,
make,
my
or you
point
just
is
make
the-
them a robot
the-
or an alien, and then it's
the-
completely fine.
Yeah, true. And the classification system, the lower you go, the more wider your audience becomes. So
Yeah.
obviously, like if you make it R or you want to make it gritty, like something that's more an adult, you're
Yeah.
gonna have your
There's
your
a-
audiences
okay,
get
there's
smaller
a
and
certain
smaller.
risk to
You see,
to
the thing
audience.
with Logan is that you have the audience from the Wolverine there, so they knew it was going to work even though it was R, because they knew they'd get the audience.
Yeah,
Because that
'cause he's already-
character was 13 years old at that point. Not in age, but like...
Yeah, man. Wolverine was both 13 years.
But like,
he looks pretty good.
He
for
had
13.
13 years of, like being on screen. More than that, it was 17 years, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Sorry, 17
But
years.
he's been
but he was
shit
like,
ton of movies.
yeah, but like
yeah,
you
2000.
you know that like at that point he's had enough like people to grow up with that character that's going to see it. They know that a film like that would
think
work.
the Wolverine, the one with the Silver Samurai, had bits of blood in it. You know, I can't remember
His
exactly.
claws were bloody.
Yeah,
cut off.
exactly. His claws were cut off.
The
and
Wolverine, the Silver Samurai. You mean the movie The Wolverine?
Shit. Yeah,
With the
I said
Silver
the with
Samurai.
it. Yeah. I
Oh
said the
yeah. Okay, I was like,
Not
The Wolverine and the
Did-
Silver
did you just
Samurai.
refer to the
Wolverine
movie
and the
as
Silver
called
Surfer.
The Silver Samurai?
Yeah, man. Silver Surfer too.
Why haven't they made a fucking? They could have revived the whole Fantastic Four thing if they just merged it with X-Men.
They could
Are
have.
they in the same universe?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
in the
Oh,
well,
really?
not same
No,
universe,
same
but they're
company.
owned by the same company.
Oh, okay.
They are.
And they just every 5 years.
Why
they gotta
didn't
make
they
a film.
fucking do that? Wolverine and the Silver Surfer? Shit, I'd pay $18 to see that shit. $18.50, in fact.
All right.
So why don't
Disney.
we pop
Disney.
on off?
Disney-
I was gonna say
Disney-
pop on off to the more adult ones. So we're talking.
I think
ones
we
that
should end with the adult ones
Okay.
because we all like the adult ones.
exactly.
We don't all like Disney.
So means you'll have to wait.
No, I love Disney because it.
Their
Are you getting
films,
paid to
their
say that?
films, or is that you're getting paid? Their
Sorry,
films,
is-
or as a company?
I feel like it's Stephen paying you right
No,
now.
the original Disney animated films, the ones that sort of set the generation and set the style
So
and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Beauty and the Beast.
know,
Who
yeah,
made the
all that stuff.
Emoji Movie? Was that Disney?
No,
No,
Who
it
was
was
that?
Sony.
Uh,
Yeah.
Let's not talk
that
about-
makes so much sense.
Let's not talk
You'd
about
think
Sony.
that like Windows or Apple would have made that film.
I
but
feel like
no.
Apple may have produced it.
Oh, God, that's why it's shit.
Yeah. Well, have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
You don't need to.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need to.
You know what? You'll be healthier if you don't. If you don't watch it.
No, but like with like Disney Pixar films as well,
Okay.
they are good.
How do
They
you
are
feel
Disney.
that they're rebooting all the old ones? How do you feel about
Into
that?
live action.
Yeah.
I loved Beauty and the Beast, so it's the only one I've seen so far.
Well, that's the only one that's
They're-
really out.
Oh,
Also-
actually, Jungle Book was really good
Oh,
as
and
well.
Jungle-
Oh yeah.
Yep.
But that because John Favreau, and he's pretty neat.
Yeah,
But they
He's
also got they're
Actually,
gonna do
yeah,
it with
it was-
Winnie the Pooh. How the are they?
No, but
CGI
that's not
motherfucker.
that's a story about Christopher Robin. That's not a Winnie the Pooh film though.
So it's just Christopher Robin.
Yeah,
with
it's like it's a biopic
about
about Christopher Robin.
so no Pooh, no Eeyore,
No. It's about
no
the,
Piglet.
it's the true story about the books.
That's
Oh, it's
Yeah.
about it's like about.
Yeah,
the
it's
books.
about the books. It's not
Oh.
about the actual Winnie
it's
the
like a
Pooh
doco.
story. Yeah, no, it's a biopic.
Yeah, close enough.
is there some weird subplot where Christopher Robin had an abusive father or something?
No, he
'Cause I'm-
was.
No,
he
he
was.
has skits.
The guy who wrote it based it on the kid, and he had PTSD and anxiety and stuff from post-war, and he wrote the books based on his emotions, and that's why every character in the
yeah, that's why the character's like
Winnie the
All have mental-
they're like
mental
assigned
issues.
to like
Yeah.
a certain disorder.
it's like Piglet's anxiety, Pooh's depression,
Well, no,
Carrot's
No,
no,
Pooh's
you-
eating
know that.
disorder. isn't it?
Eeyore is depression.
Yeah,
depression, right? Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry.
Pooh has an eating
He's too
disorder.
sad to even build his own fucking house.
Where's my tail?
Where's my tail?
Pin the tail.
And Tigger's just full on ADHD. Tigger
Yeah.
was my favorite.
And then
Yeah.
you've got well, I don't know what the
Carrot.
Wait,
no,
no,
the,
Kangaroo.
the
Is that a
kangaroo.
character?
Is that their
No,
rabbit's
the
name?
kangaroo.
Rabbit's name's Carrot? No, it's just rabbit,
No,
isn't
it's
it?
just rabbit, yeah.
Carrot.
No, the
The
kangaroo.
I don't know what
No,
the
what was the?
I know the
And then
Roo.
there was even a smaller one.
Yeah,
It wasn't
Roo.
named Joey.
No.
Roo. That was it. Fucking Roo. Roo was
Yeah,
nice.
but anyway, so you got the
Kangaroo.
Roo in the
yeah,
springtime. That was a nice one.
Yeah, kangaroo.
Those movies though, those original
What was
like
that?
Winnie
What was
the
that
Pooh
fucking?
films,
What was the
so
one with the
good.
elephant? Fuck.
The elephant.
Yeah.
The Haunt-
Dumbo.
Yeah. No, not
No,
Dumbo,
there was
but
the one-
Dumbo. Yeah.
The
No,
Winnie the Pooh,
Pooh and
the
the
Hoot,
and
Hoon.
Are you telling me like Hoot and the Horn?
No.
Hornet
Look,
meets a
I'm
hoot.
gonna Google Winnie the Pooh film.
So, how do you guys feel about the modern Disney films coming out? I think they're
I-
really good.
Moana was great. Tangled was great. Frozen was.
I feel like it's like
But
this
that's
new. It's this new
Oh,
wave.
Huffalump. That's what
That's
I was thinking.
Hufflepuff, yeah.
Of course,
Ruin the
that was in the
Hufflepuff.
back on the right at the back of your tongue.
Wait,
Hufflepuff.
wasn't Hufflepuff go like Pinocchio's hallucination or something? Like
No.
you know how the
You mean-
Pinocchio gets drunk and he starts seeing
Wait,
elephants.
do you mean the big motherfucking whale?
No, not the whale. He hallucinated like pink elephants
Huh.
when he was drunk. Also,
Did-
Pinocchio got drunk. Remember that.
Kids films these days. Huh?
Also, it was weird.
Jimmy
he
Cricket.
sees one of his friends spontaneously turn into a donkey, and that alone is scary as fuck. But he kind of just like doesn't really react to it that much. He's kind of just like,
It's like that scene in Dumbo.
Maybe he's seen it before.
He's
but-
seen things.
but
No, but those like new Disney films, though, they're still doing really good. It's a different type of animation.
I feel like they have some sort of formula of success.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
there's-
no
there's-
fucking
It's like Pixar movies. Like they just work.
Yeah.
There's no way they just work. That's like.
I mean,
it's like. But
The,
I think
the
that's the
sequels
thing.
don't work, but the original films.
I feel like the thing is that if you have this formula and you can apply it to anything, why not use it?
Yeah.
It's exploiting money.
Yeah, it's gonna
Yeah,
make
but
the money, which is their
when
end goal.
they've
But
got
you might
they've
lack
got to
in quality
fail
of content.
sometime, but they don't see. They make a bad film, but then they fix it by sending out 5 really good films.
Yeah, Cars 2.
They only dip every now and then. It's not like
Well,
if that's a sequel film. I feel like sequels ruin it as well.
I feel like I heard Cars 3 was alright, but
I
I
haven't
still haven't
seen
seen it. So, but Cars 2, piece of shit.
Actually, Finding Dory, I kind of thought was a bit off as
Formulated.
well. Yes, but it also
I
the
feel like
the first one seemed really grounded and really sort of in a sense realistic to the characters. But then the second one, you've got an octopus driving a car, like, like
Didn't they just ride on a turtle in the last one? Like that?
No, they
and were in
no.
they met up with Crash and the.
yeah,
Yeah.
but no, but like the first
Crash
one,
and
the first one
voice.
had a sense of realism in it. That yes, like I mean,
While they are-
while they are in this world, but it's
and they
like,
do have those currents that
Yeah.
just sort of like.
But the second one, it was like, yeah, now this octopus, it's like a heist film. They've got to get out of like the ocean place.
Okay,
you
so
know,
how
like
do
a
you
prison escape
what do
sort
you
of
what do you
thing.
feel about Happy Feet? Like this, like hyper realistic in a way.
Oh yeah.
We love
like-
George Miller.
Yeah, but like hyper realistic animation, like for what it is.
It depends
It
what you're
could
doing. Because
do-
if you're doing an animal, like if you imagine Winnie the Pooh is hyper
The
realistic.
thing with this, it kind of.
If you're doing some sort of
it
animal-based thing, sure. But if any human gets into it, it's like
Yeah,
how
But
do you
there,
do
but
a
there are
hyper-
humans in that, but they are very
Yeah.
brief and they're not like really hit by
Yeah.
lighting and stuff.
Humans are hard as fuck to like to graphically
Mass Effect
recreate.
3.
But what I'm saying
Oh
is,
yeah,
you sure about that?
dude.
Assassin's Creed Unity, man.
Final
Fucking hell.
Fantasy VII was photorealistic. Okay.
15's actually looking alright.
Yeah, no, I'm fucking joking. But the one thing they have trouble with is not necessarily like the skin tone or the pores. It's water textures on skin because there's
Ah.
like really tiny and meticulous like reflections within like a water droplet and like mirroring, and that takes
They got
like
water
long-
down pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they got water down, but water on skin, like tears, and also showing emotions on a human face. That's
I think
really
it's
fucking
when they
hard.
bring in motion capture.
Yeah.
It's because they can get it down to the nitty gritty.
Oh, even then, it's still a bit like.
Well, I mean, it's
jarring.
definitely more concise than
Oh yeah,
making
it's
it on the
it's
spot.
been constantly evolving, but at one point we thought, "Fuck, that looks like a human," and then now it's
Well-
like, "Fuck,
Well,
it looks like a
I
human."
just think that the hyper realistic animation should like it works when
It's animals.
it's animals.
And somewhat stylized. It can still be hyper realistic
'Cause
and
almost-
stylized, and that
The
helps.
majority
I'd-
of the
I'd say
humans
Planet
in
of the
that-
Apes is almost hyper realistic.
Yeah, but that actually uses live action.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
it's
So it is hyper realistic animation, like
but it's
very
got
hyper realistic.
it,
It's a focused in a live action. It's not focused in a animated.
Animated, yeah.
Well, Happy Feet, obviously. I mean, yeah, get real penguins to do that. Yeah, sure.
Nah, Surf's Up is a real.
Surf's
penguin
Up, the hyper-
movie.
the-
That's a real penguin movie.
what's everyone's favorite Disney movie?
Big Hero 6, obviously, and that.
You know what I
shit,
want
that
from
is a
Big Hero
Disney movie.
6? You know
Big
when
Hero
you
7.
know when Big the Baymax, you know when he turns evil.
Okay,
'cause he-
we've
'cause he
talked
turns
about this. Yeah.
I just want that to be the whole movie.
I did when I was in high school. I did a recut trailer, whereas that was my premise. Like
Yeah.
you know how you do recut trailers, you make it
Yeah.
into a different. Like I made it into a dark action movie, whereas Baymax became the villain.
Yeah.
and so that made it look like a horror-y kind of thing, and it focused a lot on that.
Disney film. Oh. Well, when we call Big Hero 6, it's more of a Marvel film than Disney. It was just-
Sort of.
Yeah.
It was more produced by Disney, but like.
But like, yes, it's a Marvel property.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not sure. Maybe Robin Hood.
Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Like the one with the fox.
Yeah,
Robin Hood.
just for nostalgic factor
Okay.
alone. Like
Fox.
that's probably only
I'm
it.
quickly googling Disney movies. I'm gonna pick my favorite.
Oh, Sword in the
I don't
Stone was
remember
pretty
them
good.
all.
Right, yeah.
The whole
I
King
keep-
Arthur story.
You know, I keep
Fan-
forgetting
I
a lot
like-
of those older ones.
No, those
don't-
like the old VHS ones. That I was
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah,
into that.
Fantasia.
Oh yeah, Fantasia. That was
Yeah.
the one.
That
That was
honestly,
trippy
that
as
because
fuck.
of how they're.
But is that your
it's-
grown-up response, or is that your nostalgia?
I mean, this will probably be
response?
my grown-up response, but it's also
Okay.
I'm just saying because of how good it is in animation, not
The
just as
original
an
or remake?
animation. Fuck, I don't give a shit.
they
anymore.
did like
just Fantasia.
12 remakes or some
Yeah.
shit. Didn't
So
they?
Fantasia and the fact that there is no dialogue and it's all done beat by beat with an opera behind it. I feel like that works just nicely, especially for Disney because it's.
Is Fox and the Hound a Disney movie?
Yes,
is
it is.
Well,
That's my favorite. I
That's
watched
my
that.
favorite.
I wonder
Just
why
has his
Fox.
name in it?
No, because I watched it as a
Huh?
kid and it was
Fox?
really good.
Huh?
Yeah,
Huh?
he just
Huh?
loved Fox movies since when he was a kid. That's why his parents he changed his name to Fox. It's not his real name.
And what was the the one that used to be a book that had a fox in it?
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Yeah, Fantastic Mr. Fox. Is that your favorite movie too, Fox?
No, because I watched the Fox and the Hound like a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
I rewatched that one a
Yeah.
lot, and I rewatched Shrek.
My
a lot.
favorite's probably either Lion King or The Little Mermaid.
No,
Oh, actually,
I
you know what?
rewatched
Maybe
The Lion
Peter
King.
Pan. Actually,
I,
probably Peter
I
Pan.
rewatched The Lion King, and
I
I
love it.
thought
Love it.
it wasn't that good. Like it was good, but like
Sacrilege! Get out of here!
but not as good as like the film. This may be a good thing, but it feels like it goes for 5 minutes. It's like I don't know how to explain it.
I feel like you've watched it enough. You're like, oh, I know what happens. Blah, 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 blah.
It just kind of I don't know.
Um,
It felt light.
Do you want me to tell you what films have got animated films have got 100% in Rotten Tomatoes?
Yes.
A lot of them
Hey,
actually.
hey, can you tell me why Rotten Tomatoes is a credible source?
I don't know because it's.
Yeah.
But the thing is, with Rotten Tomatoes, it's a number based on it's like a Metascore. It's
Yeah.
based on a number of reviews.
Yeah.
So I guess that's sort of why it's credible.
Yeah, I guess so, but it's not like the be all
Yeah,
end
but
all.
like-
of the-
No,
Yes.
but when you think about it, if you have a number of movie critics, they're all going to give a different opinion. So, but what Rotten Tomatoes does is it gets a lot of those opinions and then puts them into a number that's averaged out, like it's like a mean of.
yeah, but
of
100 isn't.
reviews.
Yeah, when was the last time you got 100 as an average?
Yes, but that's the thing.
Anyway, just list it out.
Okay.
I only watch films that have 100% Rotten Tomatoes.
So, like,
So
the
you've
two-
seen Toy
93%?
Story 2, but not Toy Story 3. So Toy Story 2 had 100%.
Yeah, Toy
Same
Story
with
2 too.
Pinocchio and Toy Story 1.
Hold on.
Um,
Actually, yeah, Toy Story 2 was
A
pretty
movie called My Life as a Zucchini.
So
It came
why
out this
is-
year. I
why-
think it must be like a French film because it's like Ma vie de cover this or
I
something.
was gonna say, why is Rotten
Man,
Tomatoes
those French and those
incredible
zucchinis.
sauce right now? Huh?
I don't know.
It's so
I just looked up top
dick
100
joke,
animation
yeah.
films and
Okay.
this is what's come up. Actually, can we talk about a recent animation?
Go on.
It was about coming out of the closet. It was In a Heartbeat. Have you guys seen that?
No.
No.
Oh, it's not about coming out as gay, right?
It is.
That's literally what he just said.
It is.
That was the joke.
Oh.
I don't get it.
I haven't heard of it. What's it called?
It's called In a Heartbeat. It's like it's gone viral lately. It's
I've
about
not
this
seen this
kid
at all.
who's he can't control his heart. His heart comes out of his body and he's chasing this guy that he's got a crush on.
Oh my god.
And-
Is he okay?
Yeah.
No,
So
no,
if-
yeah, he's great. You know, he's
But it's like he can't control how he feels, and that's like sort of like I guess the thing. It's like you should be okay with how you feel. sort of
Oh no,
thing.
I have seen this.
Yeah, and it sort of it chases
Wait,
after
show
this
me.
bloke.
Oh no, I don't.
Yeah, it chases after this bloke, and then they get into the high school or wherever, and then everybody's looking at this kid's heart like won't let the other guy go, and then it's sort of like, despite what everybody else thinks, they're allowed to be happy together
That's
with
cute.
who they are.
So
So
it's sarcastic.
That wasn't sarcastic.
It
It
was
just
like
sounded
it's
like
sort
a-
of like those like Disney like animations, like the short films that pop
Yeah.
up before a Disney film. It
Yeah,
was sort of,
umbrella.
it's like that length.
It's kind of
you know?
sad that to think that, like, the metaphor of that is like, you couldn't imagine that story, but it was a guy's hugging a girl. No one, you get that?
It wouldn't have the same feeling.
Wouldn't have the same feeling, but because of homophobia.
So I guess moral of the story is it's okay to be gay, which we should have ticked that box like, I don't know, fucking 30 years ago.
Anyway, back to animation.
So going to
Hentai?
adult like
Going into it.
exactly.
hentai,
You
no,
said adult. At
going
the same
into
time.
going into like adult animation, kind of wrapping this up.
So
do you think that Robot Chicken is a form of like a credible form of animation?
Yes.
Stop motion.
Yes, because that is
Yes.
so fucking painstaking to do stop motion. The quality that they do
But
it
it's
at,
technically it technically could be classed as live action in a sense as
No,
well.
it's animation. No,
It-
it's a photo.
it's like the original like
Stop mo-
formats
it's
of,
stop
of,
motion.
of animation. It doesn't
but
need to be.
stop motion is animation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's,
It's-
that's,
it's-
that's,
it's
why,
a
that's
subplot.
what I'm
Whether
saying.
it's a-
It's
yeah,
like
whether
because we
it's-
brought up at the start what's
Yeah.
animation, CGI we can class, but this is a different.
Whether it's a drawing or a naked chicken, if the format of taking that entire thing is one tiny meticulous step after another, going frame by frame, whether you move a little wing or you draw something different.
I think
that is the most painstaking fucking process for anyone.
if you have to do everything frame by frame, then it is technically animation.
Yeah,
That's what I think about it.
I feel like that is the way.
If you're making every frame unique in that, it's like a
Yeah,
paint stroke.
like
on a-
every
Yeah.
step has to be focused on and fucking just like.
I think, yeah, yeah. So,
So do we want to talk about some of our favorite?
well, I mean, we've got.
I mean, I
the
love the dick
Simpsons,
jokes.
Simpsons.
Simpsons,
I
Family
think
Guy,
that's
South
family-friendly, though.
Park. Bring
American
up Rick and Morty.
Dad.
I'd count Rick and Morty as adultish.
Yeah, no, Rick and Morty is adult.
Yeah.
The amount of times they swear and talk about shoving shit
Well, I mean, the
up
thing is, they
people's
do
asses.
censor themselves.
And
Yes,
also
but
the
that's,
whole-
that's
compared to
part.
Family
That's part of the.
Then
like,
there's
the
like
character.
themes
Like,
of
that's part, yeah.
suicide, divorce, blah blah blah.
That's the thing.
blah,
Rick and
blah,
Morty
blah.
bleeps out a lot of the swear words, but that's the universe they're in. You know, like, and Rick knows that he's in a TV show as well, but it's like,
So meta.
it's but the thing is, it's not like.
Well, he
it's not
doesn't
like-
abuse that sort of.
Yeah, it's
idea.
not like he can control the world. He's just like, I'm just so smart. Like This is episode, Morty. This is an episode. We're doing an
9 more
episode."
seasons, Morty.
Yeah.
9 more seasons.
And it's like this is a Rick and Jerry episode.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So that's
Yeah.
good.
So
one
what
one
about
thing I
Simpsons parodying a lot of like actual events, such as, and I mean, not predicting events. Let's talk
Yeah,
about
no,
like
they
the
do-
supernatural shit, but a lot of these animations being able to parody
Real life.
real life.
Mm. But they do
And-
deal with a lot of adult issues because they can and because that's what they've established for themselves.
Things like Family Guy and like all their cutaway segments as well. How they do that, it's good.
I feel like
But became very bland very quickly
Yeah.
after like 11
But
seasons.
it's yeah, after 11.
And then they just like stopped it altogether, and I started missing it. Like I
But there-
felt
there
like
was-
I was anticipating a cut, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
nothing.
there was an episode where, and there are a couple episodes where they're like,
He got a hot dog from Muhammad.
Okay, so he says something like, "Oh yeah, remember this time we got a hot dog from Muhammad," and
That's a
then
South Park thing, but yeah.
yeah, but either way, and then they cut to like a TV, like a multicam kind of thing, and they're like, "Oh fuck, we don't have B-roll of that. Fuck, cut to something. Just cut to something else. Cut to break. I don't give a shit." Anyway, so it's like
Yeah.
it's like they've had to come up with new ways of
Yeah.
doing it. But
They did I think the anniversary episode of Family Guy was like a day in the life of on set of Family Guy sort of thing.
it was what Simpsons did that.
Yeah,
as well.
Simpsons sort of did that, but like Family Guy, what they did
Actually,
is they were
Simpsons-
doing the cutaway, and it was just like them, and it was just like, and then that when they got up to the cutaway, it's sort of like they went like like da-da-da-da. But like they were just standing there texting while like they were waiting for the cutaway to finish, and as soon as the cutaway finished, they all put their phones back in the pocket and then continue with the scene.
Oh yeah, I
Ah.
remember that episode.
Yeah.
I feel like still with all these adult shows, like with other animations, it's in TV form, it's in serial form.
Yeah.
What's the last animated film you watched?
Simpsons movie.
I enjoyed it.
Bitch.
I was gonna say that, but then I thought of the South Park movie.
Like the
Oh,
first
you said
adult
that movie.
animated film.
What's the most recent animated film you've watched?
Probably. Oh God.
Because
I know I watched Little Mermaid last week,
That
but
isn't
like,
adult. I mean, that is
no,
really,
but
that's
like you said,
animation.
what's
yeah,
like
yeah.
the last?
Yeah, yeah.
animated film?
Then you said
Or,
adult.
but I think the last new animated film I watched was probably Lego Batman.
Oh,
by the way,
actually,
I'm
good
talking
point.
about
Yes.
the adult
Oh.
and the last adult feature animation. Not like there's a lot of kid content or younger teen content,
Does
but
stuff on the internet count?
Tween
Um,
content.
yes.
Go love
What are
those
you gonna
tweens.
Oh no, nothing.
say?
We'll
Because
talk
like
later.
there's still that's a really niche market, an adult animated
Would
film.
you count the Simpsons movie though?
Yes,
Uh,
it's a tribute. I think it's a tribute to the whole series itself.
You know what?
But it's also
8 Crazy Nights.
No, I don't know that.
Dot,
Is.
It's Adam
dot.
Sandler's animated movie.
Yeah, no. Adam
Fantastic.
Sandler in
Oh,
general.
Sausage
gives-
Party.
I didn't see that, but
Oh,
that
that-
is the last probably adult animated film.
That probably came
Adult
out,
sounds like we're talking about porn.
Yeah, I know.
See, that's why I said that.
So
So why
why-
say large person?
why don't we call
human?
it? Why don't we say 18 plus?
Large humanoid.
That
yeah.
just make
18
it-
plus sounds
that-
like porn.
Yeah, I
no,
know.
it's if you say triple X,
No.
then
Triple
then we're
sex.
talking something. Huh?
Then we're talking something. Then we-
Mature.
Vin Diesel.
We got business.
Mature animated.
But that's still
still
said.
said.
anything like
Just say
something
big human.
Okay.
big human animated. It
film.
does- yeah,
What
like,
about
that kind
the
of works.
time that South Park got threatened by terrorists? That was pretty neat, wasn't it?
I think a lot of things have been threatened by terrorists these days,
No, but No,
including us.
like direct message to South
The
Park.
DM. They hit him in the DM.
Slid into them DMs, fam.
Quite on silent.
And that wasn't jump cutty at all. We're not back. We're still here. We never left. We didn't say anything. What are you talking about?
My laptop's running out of battery.
Well,
Jack had to take a huge shit, so we had to.
Sorry, guys.
and I had to film.
Sorry,
it.
Morty.
When we left for that shit, I was on like 40%. Now I'm on 6.
Time has passed.
Archer.
Oh,
Oh,
TV
yeah.
show.
You know, I
TV
started
show.
watching that at my friend's place. And
Bob's Burgers.
Okay.
Same
I
guy.
haven't seen that.
Barbaric.
Yeah. So I started watching Archer, and I was like, honestly, I wasn't watching it. It was kind of in the background, like, because I was paying attention to assignments, but it was a good show to have in the
Oh,
background.
thank you. It was in the background. Pay attention, motherfucker. Before
was-
Rick and Morty, I had Archer. You know how
And-
good Archer is?
And do you know what I had before Archer? Rick and Morty.
Because you haven't seen Archer.
I
before,
watched
you saw
like the
Rick and
first
Morty.
3 episodes
Look,
in the background.
but the Archer is just like... it's
Archer's just fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
it's
it's
great.
hilarious.
And it's like, that's like, big people animation. It's just,
big people.
but the thing is, like, they swear and
Yeah.
they deal with horrible issues, and
And
it's
they-
like there's a lot of murder in it, and it's
And
great.
they're dealing.
there's
They
ants.
they have their own their own inside jokes inside their own universe.
Yeah.
And then that's
And then-
fucking
but you
great
pick-
because
you
if
pick
you've
up on
watched
it,
it the
yeah.
whole time, then it's called back on. Like, are we doing, guys? We need to talk about phrasing. We need to get phrasing back into the mix.
Pull into phrasing.
Yeah, if you didn't know about the phrasing beforehand, then it kind of makes no sense. But it's still,
Yeah, because
That
if you
works.
watch like season 6 and then Archer goes, why doesn't anybody say phrasing anymore?
Yeah.
I
know?
feel like
Oh,
a
you know
good
what?
a good animation is you like Rick and Morty. It's individual episodes.
Yeah.
Episodes that work on their own.
Yeah,
that
but
don't really have any ties to each other. You know.
that Archer sort of is like that, but then they have an overarching
Yeah.
arc.
Yeah, that's
Um,
like most shows that have individual things. They
Bob's-
always have the one arc.
Bob's Burgers is really good in that sense, where it's very very serial, and it's got like an episode every week. But
Does
it's, like,
South
different.
Park have an overarching arc? I don't think so.
Not,
lot-
not
I
over
think-
the
I
whole
think-
series,
see-
but the last 2 seasons they've done a sort of continuing thing throughout the episodes,
Oh, okay.
and that's like
The-
played
I
out in their.
I
favor.
feel like
It's
in a
ended
lot
up
of
being pretty good.
these different shows, like Simpsons, Futurama, Family
They make
Guy.
Futurama anymore?
No, they actually cancelled it. I'm
No,
pretty sure.
Futurama finished. It wasn't cancelled.
Either way,
ended.
it was
It just finished, yeah.
it was finished.
Yeah.
No, they legitimately wrapped up the story.
How?
In
No,
one,
they did.
they said this is the final season.
Okay.
The last
Is that
episode was
because they
fucking
got
great.
cancelled?
No, the show was really popular.
I know it was really popular, but it doesn't mean it can't get cancelled.
Yeah, no, but they went on.
They
like,
got
just
cancelled.
Okay, anyway, back to my
twice,
point.
And then they ended it because they
Yeah.
probably didn't want to get cancelled again.
yeah, no,
So
it was
anyway, back
popular,
to
but
my,
it came back for fan
original
service, really.
point.
Oh, I'm fucking talking.
Well, you're not even sitting on your seat right now.
No, because I'm trying to plug in my fucking computer.
Then fucking do it. You disgusting.
Phrasing.
And so you have these all these shows on like Fox 8. So The Simpsons, Futurama, Family Guy, South Park's on Comedy Channel. All these ones
For our American audience, what's Fox 8?
that it's
We don't have an
basically
American audience.
it's kind of
Yeah,
like
don't worry, just
yeah.
don't even explain it.
What's an American audience?
Filthy Americans.
Internal,
Melakatskis.
internal crying. I think they have more events. So you have the part episode. So there was a Futurama one where there was like a tentacle monster taking over the world and possessing everyone.
Oh,
And
yeah,
that
the-
was
the
more an event. It was
feature-length
like,
one, yeah.
it was like three episodes.
They did 4.
They did the
feature-length
Dungeons
ones.
and
Oh, I
Dragons
understand.
one.
I understand what you're saying now.
Bender's,
Yeah.
So-
Bender's game Into the Green Yonder, The Beast with a Billion Backs, and the other one
he's
was
pretty good.
Someone help me out.
But the Rain
Was-
Man of cartoons here.
What about the one where Nibbler goes back in time and hits Fry over the head and makes it look?
That's
that's
not
fine.
Into Your Green Yonder. That Bender's game. No, not fuck. Bender's Big Booty Box. It was a weird like.
But no, the
It was
last
a weird.
Yeah, but what I
the
mean
last
is
three
consistent
episodes.
B
The
thing.
last 3 episodes were a feature length one, weren't they?
No, they got a bit weird with their structure. So those 4 feature length ones, that's actually just a whole season.
Okay.
So when you go like looking up, and it's like, wait, it jumped from like season 6 to season 7 or some shit.
I feel like Bender's game was the one that always stuck. That's the Dungeons and Dragons
that's
one,
Dungeons
yeah.
and Dragons.
That always stuck in my head as a kid, and that sort of made me like sort of all that sort of like that
Yeah,
kind of
the
shit.
Yeah, I'm like,
first 3
there's
ones that had a
no-
consistent B.
There's no real overarching story. There's these event kind
Yeah.
of things where
Yeah.
there is a story within those episodes. It's just it takes a longer time. It kind of like anime. Kind of like Naruto, it takes a certain episode to get all the information out because of their time restrictions. You know, they obviously have to buy time on air to put
Yeah,
that.
they
had
split
to
all the
buy.
feature length
Yeah.
ones into 4 bits so they
Exactly.
could release it. On,
So
on
yeah,
TV.
they could still have it. So there was like night 1, night 2, night 3, and night 4, but it just means they didn't have to buy any more time.
Yeah.
So basically, they'd have the exact same amount of slots, and they could just be like, boom,
Yeah.
4 episodes, and it's just parts instead.
Yeah.
So I mean, they don't have
A massive overall.
a massive
so-
overarching. It's like more
So
like
they
a
didn't
mini
have-
story.
Yeah, they didn't have to sell it as a movie.
Yeah, they could sell it as
Yeah.
4 episodes. They're all connected though.
It's sort of, you know what, it's sort of like Family Guy's
Oh, that's what I'm referring to.
So like Family Guy's what are they called?
The Stewie one, like the
You mean the-
Untold
yeah.
Story or something.
No, I'm talking about the Star Wars parody.
Oh, Blue
Uh,
Harvest, Blue Harvest
Yeah,
is what I'm
exactly.
thinking.
So you know they
The
can.
first one was good, then they did it again twice.
Anyway, look at this
I
little
reckon
loop that I made.
they would have been more successful if they did the prequels because you can make way more jokes with that one.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, especially that stormtrooper with the
Who would be
the red
Jar Jar?
head. I don't even know what episode. I haven't
Who
seen
would
any
who would
of
be
them.
Jar
No,
Jar?
the Stormtrooper in the head was in A New Hope. You fucking retard.
It's like I said, I don't know them.
No, who would be Jar Jar from the Family Guy universe?
Brian.
No.
No.
Well, the judge is kind of like the pet of the film.
I think
thought it was
I
more
think maybe
Chewbacca.
like the whistling old dude, like the
No, no,
No, it's obviously Darth Maul, man.
no. Oh Jesus.
Yeah, I know, a character. Hey.
No, it'd be Morty. What is his
Morty.
Morty.
No, Mort.
Mort?
The Jewish
Mort?
guy.
Yeah, Mort.
The Mort.
Oh, I can't
Yeah.
really do
Yeah,
that,
he'd be
guys.
Jar Jar.
Please help me out.
Yeah.
I've dropped my glasses. I can't find anything. Please. I've dropped my pants too. Can someone help me find my belt?
Final thoughts on anime.
On like animation in general, or just anime?
Sorry, animation. Yeah.
Animation.
Fucking weeb.
I reckon animation is one of the greatest forms of like art, in the film and TV world.
I was about to say, did you just fucking say that?
No,
Go
no,
on.
it's,
Go
One
on,
of
go
the
on.
greatest
It's honestly-
forms of art in the digital world.
it's the most compelling. It's the most expansive. You can do whatever you want with it, and it creates an audience. And people love seeing animated stuff rather than watching.
Even though it's not as popular in cinemas.
Even
It doesn't
hentai-
matter.
It's definitely more
you go to
home.
the,
It's
you
a-
go
it's
to
a-
the cinemas to see a film
Yeah.
about people.
But I
Even,
think, like,
even the very existence of hentai supports your point. It really does.
Yeah, right.
People put
Don't
tentacles
argue.
and shit in that.
All
They
right.
like you can't do that.
No, it's
Any final thoughts, Pablo?
Filthy Americans. That's about it.
He's got a point. Filthy Americans and their dubbing. So much change. Fox, what would you like to say?
I think in the terms of like what the animation markets are, it's kids films and adult TV shows or big people TV shows. I feel like they're
Adult. Well, they definitely have
where the
adult
market lies.
themes though.
Oh fuck, we didn't even talk about Adventure Time or anything.
Oh
It's
yeah,
basically like
Adventure Time.
kids, but veers into adult territory. Fuck.
It kind of does, yeah.
So they're
I
they're
mean-
the two markets. I feel like
We
they
We didn't even
lie
talk
or
about
succeeding.
SpongeBob or anything like that. So
But
That's
that's more
good.
just kids.
yeah, that is
alone.
kids. Well, we're going kids and adults
Kids,
anyway.
that's like the most
anyway.
adult thing I've ever watched.
Yeah, I agree.
What are your final thoughts?
I feel like animation has the exact same amount of power that films do to communicate certain themes, and It's definitely. I think it's expanding.
I was gonna say, do you feel like it's gonna grow in the future? It's
I
gonna
believe it will.
have a bigger market.
I feel like the market definitely has a future. Definitely with the evolution of technology, animation will continue to grow.
But do you want to see animation grow into something else, or do you like the original style of animation?
I like
That-
the
I
original.
feel
the
like
original too.
yes. While the original is
Like where Disney's going is more
Mint.
realistic.
But
Yes.
that's because we
But
grew up with what we grew
let's
up
not
with. I bet
let's not
kids now are
forget.
gonna enjoy
Yeah,
Disney
the
content
3D
now.
animated
Yeah.
stuff, and they're gonna
Yeah,
look at the
it's-
2D stuff and be like, "What the fuck is
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be the exact same thing that happened with film. Film started as this one camera, no movement, but everything happens in front of the frame, and then cut from one to another to what it is now, which is like
that?" Explosion and
Evolvement of it.
it's a lot
explosion
of
and
movement.
titties in 60 FPS, boy.
Literally.
That's what movies are now.
You talk about Mad Max. I mean,
Mad
That's the
Max.
second time you've said Mad Mix.
What Guardians
dude,
of
I'm
the
hungry. Shout out to Mad Max on Clarendon Street.
America, give us Jeb Bush. We can't make
Alright,
any good.
well.
Yeah, do you feel like basically like they're going to be serious blockbuster
like it
film
can be.
releases of animation in the far future, maybe?
I feel like if you go too hyper realistic, it's just like a piece of shit.
Or it could get to a point
I've-
where there's no actors anymore. We just generally generally.
I don't
make
feel like
actors.
it's very
Oh
appealing
fuck!
to
Now
the
you bring
eye.
that up. I have like a whole thing to talk about.
You got
without
that.
Fake actors or fake recreations, like in Star Wars.
No, now
the
there's
new one,
technology.
Star Wars
Now that's
Rogue One.
it's called like a voice print, and basically any person can talk for about 4 minutes, and the software analyzes your entire speech, the patterns, the way you say things, the pauses in between it, and it can artificially recreate your voice, like with no fucking
That's
person
cool.
there. There's only like 4 minutes of recording someone, and you can get them. You could get that person to say literally anything.
That's cool.
Like I rape kids.
That's not cool.
That's not cool. No, it's not great, but the technology is cool.
That's how
So
we
it
get,
allows
that's how we
me
get
to say
Christian
that.
Bale's Batman voice to be forever in eternity.
I've zoned out.
Rachel! Where's the drugs? Hey, where is the drugs?
Where's the drugs?
Where are the drugs going?
Where are
Give it-
the other drugs?
Shout out,
Uh,
All right, well that's
Shout
the
out to Mad
episode.
Max.
right.
shout out Mad Max.
Yeah,
Title
so
card.
for shout out, title card is up.
I've already said it.
I don't care.
Fuck you.
It's gone up twice now, boy.
It
It
opened
goes up
shut
and
and then
then-
opened again.
It's like, no, you gotta keep it open, dude.
And it keeps going.
Yeah. Lockie, keep it up, you dickhead.
Oh, freezing!
Bye, Pablo.
Right, well, thank Pablo for joining us this week, and we'd also like to thank JMC for letting us use their equipment and film and TV studio. If you're looking for a job in the creative industry, go no further than JMC.
Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you in a few weeks.
I've been Fox.
I've been Jarek.
And I've been Lockie.
I used to be Pablo, but I'm still Pablo now. Okay, goodbye.
Yeah. I love twisties.